going straight to the issues within the IPID, but I'll talk about you first. How long have you known Mr. Paul O'Sullivan? If you can reflect on that.
I've known him since 2014 when I was appointed to IPID, and I met him in response to his provocation about what IPID's predecessor had done to him. And I thought I didn't need somebody harassing me about something that is not my business. It happened during ICD. It's a totally different animal that I was heading now. So from I was appointed to IPID, that's when I know him. Never met him before. No, the only matters that is matters where he's the complainant and were referred to IPID. And that was IPID did it, not myself. No, I haven't. I haven't requested anything from him. My understanding was that he was a certified fraud examiner, assisting with forensic investigations, and basically doing the work that journalists, investigative journalists do.
Just a moment, can you restate that? What do you say was his role at the time? If you can just restate it.
So a moment ago, I put it in three aspects. One is he's a certified fraud examiner, that someone looks at documents, identifies if there's fraud, statement analysis. And secondly, he assists with forensic analysis of documents and figures. And thirdly, it does the work that investigative journalists are doing to uncover corruption or malfeasance. That's what he does. He's actually quite obsessed with that. He's also a businessman, of which business I don't know about. I think it's to do with property, purchasing and selling.
Investigation. As he was doing an investigation, especially in corruption and other things, as during your tenure in the IPID, corruption was investigated a lot. You didn't request his assistance, not so ever.
No, not me personally. Some members of IPID might have engaged with him, not me.
But not you.
Okay. For me, he was a sounding board with information that he had. I would listen to what he said. That's generally my way.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Paul O'Sullivan has over the years exerted influence on the work of IPID and SAPS, the prosecutorial service on the Hawks?
Could you kindly repeat, please, ma'am?
I'm saying that, have you ever heard or do you know if Mr. Paul O'Sullivan has over the years exerted an influence on the work of the IPID
As
and
I mentioned,
staffs.
as I mentioned on yesterday, on 2 occasions, I thought he was overstepping the line, and I brought him to order. I don't know his relationships with SAPS.
So he attempted at some point, then you came
Yeah,
and stopped him.
yeah, right there,
Okay.
right there. Not in
So
my
meaning that,
Honorable Sokhanyile, are you saying he attempted or he overstepped the line?
He attempted to, but I stopped him right there. No, that is not your business.
but it means that if he attempted and you have seen at that point, the others, maybe you didn't say it. Can you agree with me on that?
That I didn't say.
Because maybe it didn't get to your attention if he attempted this one in IP.
I'm not 100% sure, ma'am, the question, but there's only 2 occasions I remember that I remember specifically where I was present.
Which are those? If you can mention them.
There was he had information about a decision. Someone was leaking stuff to him. He had information about a decision about Mabula team to arrest IPID members and others. And he had indicated that we already have enough evidence to arrest them, we should. And I told him, no, we follow evidence until we're sure of our case and until the prosecuting authority is sure of the case also.
Meaning that you can safely say that Mr. Paul O'Sullivan had an access to confidential information or records.
Not that I'm
within
aware
the
of.
IPID.
Not that I'm aware of.
But if he knew and came with the information that you're narrating now, it means that had sources within and got information and had access.
So, for example, Colonel Munsami, after exhausting all avenues within SAPS and was exasperated with no action, then went and wrote to Paul O'Sullivan. And Paul O'Sullivan then took it as a complaint to IPID whilst I was in suspension.
Did you ever attend a braai or any social gatherings with complainants of IPID?
Except for Paul O'Sullivan, no.
You did attend.
Yeah. The braai on which is supposedly the reason Nkabinda got upset and did a Judas or a Saul to Paul. Which was untrue anyway, because he continued leading the Patlani investigation. I haven't on complainants, but Paul did indicate he has a document to give everybody, which was his analysis of I think one of the matters you're discussing in your mandate is syndicates operated in South Africa and how it involves the police. So he gave us that. I'm really much about the information, the intelligence. That's my game.
So you didn't regard Paul O'Sullivan as your friend? Or himself, did he regard you as his friend? Why did he have to invite you to a braai?
Well, normally towards Christmas time, people do have braais, but I really like him.
You liked him?
Yeah, I like him. He's full of jokes and all of that, and he's a bit nutty sometimes, so.
And you get information out of those jokes.
Indeed.
Then you had to put Paul O'Sullivan next to you.
No, He always called me first when he had information. I never sought information. In fact, even today, information comes to me. People trust me to handle it confidentially.
Because if you are associating yourself with Paul O'Sullivan like that, and Paul O'Sullivan getting an information within IPID, records of information, then it means that you yourself also, you were using Paul O'Sullivan to assist you in investigating some of the things. If you are saying that you are getting information from him.
So some of the information that he gives is irrelevant to IPID, but it's relevant to understanding the size of the monster of syndicates and drug distribution, and which other seemingly clean activities are hiding the drug movement.
So he didn't influence you whatsoever as the head of IPID at that time?
No, man. In fact, there's no one on this earth that can influence me wrongly. I will always do the right thing.
Okay. Do you know a person called Sarah Jane Trent?
Very well.
How do you know her?
She was working for Paul, pulling documents together and keeping documents and dealing with litigation matters. Also a major source of categorized and archived documents which deal with anti-corruption matters.
You know, my worry is one, it's Paul O'Sullivan, then Sarah Jane Trent working with Paul O'Sullivan, but you're saying that they were not your friends. And they're working together, these two. When now you're saying that, no, you never ever said to them, they must investigate anything for you, being at the head of the IPID.
Okay.
Because if it was me being at the head, I'll request some people to get me information and investigate some, even though I wouldn't say they're investigating themselves.
So if I can answer this, and depending on your definition of friend, I can answer more, but independent IPID, as it should be, does not have forensics, does not have ballistics, does not have analysis capabilities, does not have intelligence capabilities. At the end of the day, you can ask all the lead investigators. This person was the intelligence person, gathering information. That is why we got all this information on all these corrupt people. And I can talk for the whole day about them.
What was the role played by Sarah Jane Trent in Patlane's investigation?
As I mentioned, the archiving and categorizing of corruption information, which involved a number of issues, including the police. So policing matters I knew about.
Are you aware that Sarah Jane Trent, together with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan,
Yes.
they tried impersonating IPID with regard to investigating Mr. Patlane when they wanted to have an access to information about General Patlane and his home? Are you aware of that?
Well, that is the allegation from Patlane. It's not the allegation from the three crime intelligence officers who did an assessment of possible security breach. I was not on the scene. What I know is that it was the allegation I was given an explanation from my members who were there, including Mandla, who was killed. And yeah. And it was not long after that Mandla got his first threat.
They were arrested most for this act that they were doing.
Well, one of the allegations against the IPID members was that they were impersonating IPID members. Now that is crazy, but that was a charge on them.
So you didn't deassociate yourself from them after their arrest, because you are saying that it was just an allegation made by people. And it's not true, according to your explanation, if I'm understanding you.
So who arrested them? It's Mabula team. Mabula team who at least 2 people died in their custody and others alleged torture. So I was associated with people who serve a purpose for IPID because of Mabula. That will never happen.
But you know, to me, it gives me goosebumps if you will be associated with Paul O'Sullivan and Ms. Sarah J. Trent. And after these individuals have committed impersonating people, doing other things with regard to law, then how this committee must conclude about you if you are befriending people like Mr. Paul O'Sullivan.
So, Honorable Member, I've been through this by the legislature before. I've been hauled over the coals for absolutely no purpose, for saying what the situation was. And all kind of scurrilous smears were thrown my way. Now, an association with a person, not friendship, association. I have very few friends. I don't like a lot of friends. But association, I have with people who add some value to my life and what I'm doing. So, in all humility, ma'am, whatever this committee feels, whatever it feels, won't change my normal activities during my private life.
Okay. Just this quick one. Mr. Nkabinde, when he came here, he said that he wrote a report about you. And then again,
Yeah.
when it
Yes.
was time for
It is now 11:13. May we please pass the microphone to the next speaker?
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me pick up straight from what Honorable Sokhanyile left. The first issue I want to pick up with you is that you say just a few minutes ago that whatever this committee feels, it won't change your normal life activities. We don't operate on feelings here. This committee does not operate on feelings.
Sorry, sir, could you kindly...
I'm saying this committee does not operate on feelings. It operates on the basis of extracting facts from fiction. We're running an inquisitorial process to extract facts and evidence from fiction. And it's not meant to regulate any personal life of anyone. It is directed at checking whether or not the allegations leveled on the 6th of July, 2025 do actually stand and are our government institutions captured or not? So this is not about your personal life. It's basically about the people. It does not get entangled to your personal life. That's what this is about. The second thing that I've picked up is when you were responding to Honorable Sokhanyile is on the relationship between you and Paul O'Sullivan. And as you explain, you go to an extent of saying, the fact is the investigations at IPID do not have some of the relevant material to conduct investigations. And Paul does have some of the relevant material. Is that a concession that you have used Paul O'Sullivan to conduct IPID investigation?
Well, that's a bit of a jump in logic because he's one of the sources of information. There are others also. But the fact that he provides information or is a complainant does not translate into controlling IPID. That is a fiction which was created by Patlani and his crew themselves.
So you say.
And that is all they got. They got no explanation for the charges they must face.
But Mr. McBride, to what extent did you use Mr. Paul O'Sullivan or his resources to conduct IPID investigations?
Whenever he had information to me, I went and listened to it. But all the answers are here, written long before 6th of July, 2025. The answers were here already about all these issues you're asking me about. Nothing to do with anything else, nothing to do with allegations made by Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. It was here already, affidavits, court papers, judgments, all there.
So, in a nutshell, you mean you have used information from Paul O'Sullivan to arrive at decision on the investigations IPID conducted?
In a nutshell, some of his information proved useful in our investigation.
So your investigations were resourced in terms of information by Paul O'Sullivan, who's not part of IPID.
Or anybody else who had information.
Let's pass it. I hope members will pick it up. Did Paul become part of investigations, physical investigations? You'll recall the estate allocation. Was it the only incident where Mr. O'Sullivan accompanied IPID investigators when they were conducting investigations?
So let me put it this in a nutshell. Paul O'Sullivan was the complainant. He had interaction.
No, let's leave that one first, Mr. McBride. Let's say, apart from that one, did Paul accompany investigators of IPID when they conducted investigations?
I will answer you,
Okay.
but I will answer you fully.
Okay.
So that you understand in a nutshell. So Paul O'Sullivan showed IPID the alleged crime scene, which was Patlani's house. That's the first thing, which
Mr. McBride,
Yes, sir.
you are giving answers on a time that is allocated to the honorable member. And the honorable member has said it more than once, that please answer the question that he asks, so that his time is not squandered without him exhaustively asking the questions that he wants to. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. So the question is, apart from the Patlani estate, forgot its name, did Mr. Paul O'Sullivan accompany IPID investigators when they were conducting investigations?
I'm not aware of it.
You're not aware of it. Okay, let's go to the part you were going to. You say there is an allegation against Mr. Pahlane of corruption, blah, 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 in SAPS. Where procurement is done in SAPS. Where service providers submit their bid tenders in SAPS procurement offices. Now, you term the visit to the estate by Paul O'Sullivan and IPID investigators a visit to the crime scene. How did the estate become a crime scene of a crime that was committed at SAPS?
Can you repeat that? I'm not sure.
How did the estate become a crime scene of a crime that was committed at SAPS headquarters?
That's a very good question. Very good question.
If the good part, just answer the question.
How did it become a crime scene? The house was built without registered money. There was no money used from a bank to pay those builders. So where was the money coming from? And there's evidence to suggest it came in black plastic bags. Those were the initial statements and recordings of people who worked with Pahlane. So on the bond that was drawn was 600,000. None of it was drawn on it, but there was a approved bond, 600,000. But the issue is Pahlane is still staying in a crime scene. Now, as we talk it.
No, Mr. McBride. A person is shot and killed here in this chamber. Okay? The person who shoots, takes man and takes a cell phone and runs to Khayelitsha. He gets arrested in Khayelitsha. That does not make the Khayelitsha a crime scene. Because a crime scene is where the crime was committed. So this chamber remains the crime scene. So I still ask a question. How did Pahlane's house become a crime scene?
It's the proceeds of crime.
That's not a crime scene. That's a different, complete different concept.
Still a crime scene.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. In fact, there was a supplier who fitted in a sound system. So a supplier to SAPS fitted in a sound system or paid for in Pahlane's house. That gratification is a crime scene.
Let's leave it. Let's leave it to waste our time. So you mean the only person who knew your called crime scene was Mr. Paul O'Sullivan? The investigators at IPID did not know the place where Mr. Pahlane was building a house. They needed, just to point a house, they needed Paul O'Sullivan. I thought when you said you used the resources from Paul O'Sullivan to conduct IPID investigations, you spoke about sophisticated machinery. For example, we were told here that he even has a grabber. See, so we thought that it's those kind of things. So are you saying the investigators could not compile information that points themselves to Mr. Pahlane's house? They had to use the services of Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, who later, by the way, was actually charged for impersonating an IPID official.
Well, the charge fell away, number one. Number two, it was on the one occasion in which he was a complainant, which he showed them where the house is. So it's, what do you expect me to say? In fact, the word crime scene comes from my investigators.
Yeah, your investigators misled you. The reason why you misled is because you let Mr. O'Sullivan to lead your investigations. Let's pass this part, Mr. McBride. There is a complaint by Mr. Paul O'Sullivan against General Pahlane. So you formulate a task team. What they call the Pahlane task team. Is it the Pahlane task team?
We could have called it the corruption task team,
Yeah,
but there are
but
lots
the point,
of those here.
the point I want to ask is it a usual procedure at IPID when investigating a complaint, you formulate a task team? Is it how you approach all complaints that are submitted at IPID?
So, firstly, it was not a usual situation at IPID. I had two of my senior investigators unlawfully dismissed. We were denuded of resources of investigators. We prior to my arrival at IPID, there was a task team on Marikana. And the same thing, they pulled people from different provinces, Northern Cape, Free State, and sent them to go and investigate the Marikana incident or incidents. So it is done sometimes.
So you mean the Pahlane accusations or allegations are as equivalent as a massacre?
Equivalent as a murderer.
Beg your pardon?
I didn't understand your question.
You make an example of a task team formed on the Marikana massacre.
Yes.
So I'm saying, so you equivalent the complaints against Pahlane to a massacre.
No, I didn't make any comparison. You asked, is it normal practice to set up a task team? So I told you the usual situation in IPID in 2016 November was unusual. Two of my most senior investigators were unlawfully dismissed. So we had to make do with what we got. It's a compulsion. We are compelled to investigate complaints and say whether they're valid or not. That's the law.
So Mr. McBride, you say you don't usually appoint task teams to investigate complaints at IPID, but this was a special arrangement. And you explain it and say there are some special arrangements. So you say the complaint against General Pahlane was a special case. It warranted a task team.
So it's the first time we had such a major systemic corruption matter to deal with. Prior to that, the systemic corruption case we were dealing with, which probably is the real reason why we got into trouble along the way, is the Panday case which we had to take over at a certain stage. But I'll get back to that just now. But this one involved drugs going missing, illicit narcotics from the lab, rhino horn, stuff that's supposed to be evidence in cases. And we needed to put together a team. And that's what happened. You can say, yes, it was wise, it was not wise, or it should be considered differently in different circumstances. Given the same circumstances, under the same conditions, with the very same allegations, I'll do it again.
Okay. Allegations are that, which were confirmed by both General Pahlane and Mr. Nkabinde, are that you connived with Paul O'Sullivan, established a task team to taint his image so that he gets fired from SAPS and he does not become a national commissioner. What is your response to that?
My response is, he got fired there even when I was not at IPID. He got charged by NPA when I was not at IPID, when I was not in the criminal justice system. He got dismissed from an acting post. If you are still willing to believe Cedric Nkabinde, there's no hope for you, honorable person.
Yeah, no. Honorable, Mr. McBride, you see how we treat you as a witness. Each and every witness that comes before us is treated like that. And when you speak the truth, you do not have to do that at the expense of another witness. Just speak the truth the way you know it. Because the truth does not need majority and does not even need to be backed by a personal attack on the other witness. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, Chair, of course, it's correct. We're compiling evidence, so no one is supposed to cast doubt on someone else's evidence. And I said allegations. So I don't know where you get that if I believe there is no hope. And please don't do that again, so that we have a smooth interaction, a conversation. Let's pass this stage and go to you allege in paragraph 53 that former Minister Nathi Nxola established a reference group to investigate on how does IPID investigate in complaints, and you term it as political interference. And what is the actual envisaged accountability framework at IPID?
Well, what we know now is that what independence actually means from the McBride versus Minister of Police, meaning Nxola case in the Constitutional Court. It means operational and structural independence. That's what it means. You cannot get outsiders, including civilians, to come and question us about our investigations, to demand dockets from us. And that's what happened. So yes, there's political interference. They should have backed off.
So the reference group was comprised of civilians.
Say again, sir?
I'm saying the reference group established by former Minister Nxola was comprised of civilians. And that's part of the uncomfortability around it.
A sitting prosecutor for the NPA, what's his business to check how we investigate?
Let's pass that. So you investigate a rendition case against General Spear and Dramat. So how do you then become on the side of the wrong and subsequently get suspended? Can I repeat it? What did you get?
The suspension was unlawful. The whole world knows that.
No, let's leave the lawfulness.
Yeah.
Let's talk about you were on this side investigating these ones who are accused of rendition. How did you cross the line and become on the side of those who are accused of rendition, which ultimately got you suspended, whether lawfully or unlawfully?
I don't know what goes in the mind of Nkosi Nathi Nxola. I've got no clue.
Are you done now? So you don't know how you became a part of the suspects on the rendition case?
I've given you my answer. That is my answer. Ask Nxola what was going through his mind.
No. You are not going to do that, Mr. McBride. I'm not going to ask you a question and you tell me I must ask Nxola. We did not summon Nxola to appear here. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you're unable to answer, just say I'm unable to answer and we pass.
All I know, it was unlawful. That's all that matters to me.
So you don't know how you became a suspect on the rendition case?
How I became a suspect.
How you became at the wrong such that you got suspended. That's the point I'm making.
I had nothing to do with the rendition business.
All right, let's pass. On paragraph 59, you speak about infiltration of the crime intelligence in the IPID business. But the use of your language is that you were alerted after having returned at IPID about allegations of crime intelligence interfering and all that. But did you formally, because I think when you are back as the executive director at IPID, you are supposed to have been given a formal report of the work that has been done whilst you are in suspension. But here in the paragraph, you speak about being alerted, about allegations and all those stuff. You don't say, I called an executive meeting, if it's an executive meeting. I requested a report on investigations. And this is what we picked up about the crime intelligence infiltration at IPID.
Yes, sir, you're quite accurate on that. Firstly, I did not get a handover report. Sokhanyile ran away as an acting ED. He ran away, never came back. So there's no handover report. Who do I ask for what happened? So you'd have situations like Leon Mbangwa being a chair for IPID appointments. We have a situation where the corporate services head is suspended, but they appoint a new one in the place to act from outside, someone who is not part of IPID, to act in a position that is not vacant, it is filled by someone. And you have illegal alien Leon Mbangwa sitting as a chairperson of that meeting. Now, that will give you an idea what's going on in Nxola's mind.
We have got illegal alien.
Absolutely.
Who is that?
The chief of staff of Nxola.
Chair, I think let's again try to reprimand the witness. I think it's important how we refer to people. What's the problem? If chair we don't reprimand, it will appear as though that this is the opinion of Parliament, because we are on record under oath in Parliament.
Yeah.
So let's just.
What is an alien?
And he is not a citizen of South Africa or legally in South Africa. Yet he's the chief of staff and is carrying a false ID. This was presented before the Zondo Commission also.
You wanted to say it's a foreign national who is illegal in the country.
Yes, but it's often referred to as illegal alien. In other words, not someone from here. Now, I don't mind if he comes here legally, that's fine.
Yeah, no, you know, when you spoke here yesterday, you said that you are a freedom fighter.
Yes, indeed.
And I thought that you belong to the progressive fold or to the progressive perspective. May we please use the language of the progressives when we address fellow human beings.
My language is not unprogressive. My irritation at madness that's accepted as normal is progressive.
Look at me. You see how composed I am when I talk to you. I want you to leave McBride at his house and bring a witness here. Leave McBride at his house. McBride as a person may have those defects, but bring a witness here. Take yourself home and bring back a witness here. Please.
Do you want me to leave?
I don't think that you suggest you don't understand what I'm saying. For a person of advanced age like yourself, you surely understand what the chairperson is saying when he is requesting you to bring a witness to these proceedings. You see, it is our attitude, all of us, that make these proceedings to be successful. It is not our personalities. It is not our names. It is not our fame. It's not our credentials, but our attitude that make these proceedings to succeed. And that is why I am making this humble plea to you that whatever decorations we may have, let's leave that at home and bring witnesses and have a conversation here. May we proceed, Honorable Nxola.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let's move. You say at paragraph 69.
69.
69 in your statement that Mr. Paul O'Sullivan lent the pace at which Mr. Pahlane's, General Pahlane's house was built from Google.
Yes.
So does that mean the day of the visit was the first time he was there?
You mean of O'Sullivan?
Yes.
I get the impression O'Sullivan was there before because the estate manager was giving him information.
So the pace of General Pahlane's house was received. The information was received from the estate agent or from Google.
And the second sentence, they say, O'Sullivan also had evidence to support suspicions that Pahlane was receiving kickbacks.
No, we're
from
coming
staff
to the
supplies.
kickbacks. We're coming to the kickbacks.
Okay.
I'm saying, did Mr. O'Sullivan receive information from the estate agent or from Google, as it is said in the statement?
My understanding is it's two matters together. It's the rate of the building, estimated costs versus, and together with the evidence of kickbacks and the fact that no money is used through a bank to pay for builders. And additional evidence, which I had seen at some stage, about payment in black refuse bags in cash. So it's a known method of money laundering also about do construction, do building. Because you can buy with cash.
Okay, I think let's pass because you are not dealing with that. I'm dealing with now. What evidence did you have in relation to General Pahlane's involvement in the procurement process of the goods you said are substandard with the service providers, and also the continued loss of narcotics and rhino horns? You say you were briefed that there is clear evidence against General Pahlane. Can you tell us what clear evidence did you have?
No, I didn't say
in the
clear
form
evidence.
of
No, I didn't say clear evidence, sir. I didn't say that. I said there was a complaint, and the complaint came through Pop Crew, and the complaint came through on the defective equipment Munsami, that this was happening. I didn't say clear evidence. Information
on paragraph 76 in your statement, you said clear evidence. Go check. You said clear evidence.
at a later stage.
Paragraph 76, you
Yes,
say.
So there's evidence about that, and part of that evidence.
But do we agree that you said clear evidence?
But it's not about about the initial complaint. It's
No,
clear
I'm not
evidence.
talking about the rendition. I'm talking about the allegations of corruption against General Pahlane. I'm talking about you continue the SAPS loss of narcotics and rhino horns.
No, I'm not talking about clear evidence about that.
Okay.
This is saying there's clear evidence of a corrupt relationship between General Pahlane and sub-service providers.
That's what I'm actually asking.
Yes, and it's in court.
What
The case
clear
is in
evidence
court.
do you have?
It's in court. Ask
No,
me.
leave the fact that it's in court. It can be
It
in
was
court. Remember, we have
prosecuted.
just said the charge against Paul O'Sullivan of impersonating IPID fell away. So even this one, there is no court judgment on it. So let's leave it. Let's not reference on it. Let's deal with what we have.
Well,
So I'm saying, what clear evidence did you have against General Pashane on the involvement in the procurement process of the substandard goods you're talking about? What clear evidence did you have against General Pashane on the actual relationship with service providers?
Well-
What clear evidence do you have against General Pashane on the continued loss of narcotics and rhino horns?
so General Patlani, who is on bail for corruption, had an untoward relationship. That's part of the evidence before court, and it's part of further investigations that are taking place. So the people who are seized with the matter need to be asked that. I don't remember after 11 years or what that was. After 11 years, what that was. So I don't have the files and the finances and stuff.
So you don't know if there were monies that were transferred to him, there is telephone communication. You don't know that. But you say in your statement there is clear evidence.
So he received gratification. I testified about 5 minutes ago about that. And that was a sound system.
Okay.
And the cars.
Did you get the slip of the sound system? Where was it bought? Who bought it and all those things?
Yeah, that was all obtained.
Okay. Okay, let's pass. Okay, on paragraph 9(1)(1), I'm trying to rush. You say Mr. Nkabinde is a double agent. What does that mean? What do you mean he's a double agent?
In which context? Tell me the paragraph and I get
9(1)(1). Paragraph 9(1)(1) in your statement.
page.
Paragraph 9(1)(1)
1 second.
in your statement. Attachment, those ones. It's not a statement. This one.
Oh, sure. On paragraph 9, I don't find that on my affidavit.
8 could check 84.1.
I don't have a 84.1. I just have a 84 paragraph. Yeah, on my affidavit.
Okay, we'll come back to it. Okay, we'll come back to it, but I think it was in relation to the investigations against Patlane, where he was part of the task team, but he was able to have relations with the side of Patlane and the side of the Sullivan arrangement and all that. I think the context was that.
If you can refer me to the number, I'm trying to find it here.
No, it's fine. Let's leave it. We'll deal with.
Chairperson.
Can we allow Honorable Nxola to conclude and then I will
May I just assist? It's 91.1.
91.1.
91.1.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. 91.1. I said 91.1.
May you please proceed so that we don't waste your time.
Okay, Chair, let's pass. We may come back if Mr. McBride gets that. Mr. McBride, I think the last question from me is that you Mandla Mahlangu is murdered. When he gets murdered, he received numerous threats before. Was
Yes.
there a security assessment that was done so that to prevent him being murdered? Was there submission done to the crime intelligence in relation to the threats and all that?
So could you repeat again?
I'm saying, was there a security assessment done on Mr. Mandla Mahlangu after having received threats so that the state is able to protect him?
We tried to locate who is sending the threats, and we knew it's from crime intelligence. Mandla was offered the chance not to continue, but he insisted on going through with it. And the more people came and challenged him, the more he went ahead with it. We were aware of the disruption that was taking place, and we knew who we were dealing with in terms of the Mabula team. So we knew who we were dealing with. So they, Mandla insisted on going ahead and insisted on doing the recordings, which were made available in Zondo, which we could make available to you here also. But I have on page 27, the 91.1 you were speaking about. I don't know if you...
You can proceed to answer it as well.
Sorry,
You can answer that one as well.
I can't remember the question.
Why do you say Mr. Ngabinde is a double agent? What do you mean?
Oh, there's an affidavit to that effect from a crime intelligence person. Mr. Brigadier Hlungwane, who's still getting hounded and victimized now.
What does it say in the affidavit?
It might be here with our bundles, but he says he gives information about when he was informed about a crime about to be committed, basically the theft of 45 million from the Secret Service Fund on crime intelligence in the run-up. So it's 2017, in December 2017. And the information was passed to Cedric, who was in charge of the crime intelligence leg of the Patlani investigation. And he disappeared for a few days and did not convey the information. And then Hlungwane received the information. So Hlungwane's affidavit is here. It was at Zondo. It's in many places. It would be here somewhere. I think I sent it to evidence leaders long ago, from December already. But he explains clearly what it is. One of the most outstanding stars, decent people from crime intelligence.
Okay. Lastly, you say Mandla Mahlangu was a friend of General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
Yes.
They went to watch football together.
Yes, sir.
They were buddies. General Mkhwanazi was amongst the first, if not the first, at the crime scene when Mr. Mahlangu was murdered. But he didn't go to the funeral.
If he was there, he was hiding somewhere. He was not in a tent, and neither was he at the cemetery.
But what are you trying to insinuate? With that statement alone, what are you trying to insinuate? You even go to an extent of saying General Mkhwanazi was in the scene whilst he is in HR. What are you trying to insinuate with that statement?
Oh, it's just an inconsistency, sir. Just a big inconsistency. It's something that any investigator worth their salt would question.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. I'm done.
Thank you so much, honorable members. The witness has requested a convenience break for health reasons. We are granting him. We will come back after 20 minutes. $20 is 12:30.